The kids are not all right in this week's movie, Weapons. Matter of fact, they do a whole lot worse than not take out the garbage or finish their homework. Now, this is one of my most anticipated movies of the year because its director, Zach Cregger, has a sick, twisted mind, and I love it. Did his delightfully deranged mind bring us a good movie with weapons or not? Find out in this episode of Movies Merica Live.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Well, howdy ho, everybody. Welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica Live. And welcome to all my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics out there. And I am especially excited for this episode of Movies Merica Live because, as I've told you before, I get extra excited for doing this show when it's a movie that I am into, okay? So I am just going to say it right from the jump. I am digging this week's movie, Weapons, okay, from Zach Cregger there. And I know that's not very wise for me to do that at the very beginning of the episode because there's a pretty good chance people are going to watch this episode. They're watching this in the first 25 seconds of it. They're like, all right, I heard what I need to do here. All right, now I'm going to stop watching the show. And they won't check out any of the rest of this episode here there. So it's not very wise, not very advantageous for me to just let you know from the jump that I'm digging Weapons, and this is like the movie that I would recommend the most so far this year, even over F1, to go see at the theaters. Well, not right now. Watch this episode first, and then go see Weapons at the theater right there. So, anyway, so yeah, we're going to get into Weapons here, and just like we do every Sunday, or most Sundays here, this is all about the most recent movie or one of the latest movies to come out at the theater. So, and as always, I am your humble host, Van Ebert, here on Movies Merica Live. And again, real quick here, just to remind you guys can get into the live chat if you guys want to right there. Okay, it just makes it much more fun for you and for me if you're doing more than just sitting there or standing there and just listening to me talk. I mean, you can enhance the show for yourself much more than just sitting there and hearing me go yip, 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 yip the whole time. Okay, so I mean, yeah, I'm in love with my voice too. Okay, but it's not the cat's pajamas. All right, it's not all there is. There's the live chat. We're in the live chat, and at least give me a thumbs up or just say hi or something like that. You don't have to be witty or wise or hilarious. Your live chat doesn't have to be the length of the Gettysburg Address or anything like that. By no means right there. Just a simple hello will do the trick, all right? Okay, but you guys are checking this out here to hear about Weapons here, and this is the new offering from Zach Cregger here. And if you don't know the name, well, if you're a horror movie fan or you're just a fan of good movies, then you do know his last movie that he came out with, which was his first movie, and that movie was called Barbarian. And that was, a great movie here, all about you have this young woman. She's in town for a job interview or something like that, and she rents a B&B, goes to the B&B, and there's some other dude there that got double booked. They all got booked at the same time at the same B&B. And, you start thinking, oh, okay, maybe this movie is just going to be kind of this guy, she's suspicious of the guy. This guy's doing his best to make her think like, hey, I'm a good dude. Don't worry, I won't hurt you. And you think that this movie's just going to be kind of like, oh, going to be a movie about her. How she goes to this B&B. She's convinced to go in there by this guy being nice. And then she's going to have to like, escape this guy's clutches, and he's going to be a murderer or something like that. And then it just goes a completely different direction there and becomes a much more intricate movie than what we're led to believe here. That was Barbarian. And I'm not going to go into any more of Barbarian because, first off, this is the weapons episode, okay? And on top of that, if you haven't seen Barbarian, it's like weapons. The less you know going into the movie, the more fun you'll have watching it there. And that's why, like right now, which is when I typically go over the plot of a movie, I am going to be very, very vague, okay? So I'm going to put the capital V in vague. I am purposely going to tell you close to nothing about the plot there. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep it pretty close to what you learned in the trailers, okay, and in the marketing there, where they just start off with the premise of there is a classroom full of kids, and all the kids in this classroom are in the same class underneath the same teacher. Just one morning, they just all wake up at 2:17 a.m. and run out the door in this weird posture and just run off, and they never return, okay? And then the whole town, is coping with that, especially the parents of the missing kids. They're heartbroken. They miss their kids. They're trying to deal. The law enforcement's trying to, find out what happened. And then you get Julia Garner. She plays Miss Justine Gandy. She plays the teacher of the class where all those kids disappeared from. And then you get Josh Brolin. He's Archer. And no, not the Archer from the FX series there. No, it's he plays one of the parents whose kid disappears there. And you see him like in the trailers where he sounds like one of the most loudmouth parents there about the whole thing. And then we get Alden Ehrenreich, who played, Han Solo in the failed Solo movie that came out a few years ago. And he plays Paul. He plays a cop. And then Benedict Wong is Marcus there. And Benedict Wong, you may not know his name, but you'll look at him and like, oh, I know that guy. All right, there you go. I just didn't know the name right there, but I definitely know the face, definitely know the appearance right there. And then lastly, this is a guy that probably most people aren't going to mention in their weapons review here, but I have to get a mention to Austin Abrams in this because he plays a fantastic character, an hilarious character. And I know it's a horror movie, but this movie does have humor in it, not by design, but just it's kind of like a happy byproduct of the movie. And one of the characters that provides the most laughs is Austin Abrams as James. He's like a meth head in this movie. just some of the things he gets into. He reminds me of just to kind of give you an idea as far as what he's like in the movie. He reminds me of the squirrel in Ice Age. Okay, if you know what I'm talking about, he's always trying to get the nut, but in this case, he's always trying to get the meth nut. And so he's pretty good. So I wanted a shout out to Austin Abrams as James in this movie right there. Real quick, I'm going to get a tug off my beer here. Let me rephrase it. I'm going to get a drink off my brewski right here. And that's my reminder to remind you that, hey, go ahead and hoist whatever you're drinking here today. It is technically still the weekend here. Movies Merica Live, in addition to being your should I go see it or should I movie source, should also be a realm of relaxation for you. And part of that is hoisting whatever you're drinking there. I happen to have a brewski right here that I'm going to be going into a little later on in brew review time. But until then, all right, there we go. And real quick here, let me just take care of a little house cleaning right here as we go into this. And believe me, we are going to talk some weapons right here real quick here in about 3, 2, 1. And so weapons, like I said, it starts out with a relatively simple premise like it shows in the trailer, and like I said, all the kids in this particular elementary school class just suddenly just bolts out of their house at 2:17 a.m., never to return. They don't even join the circus or anything like that. They are just going. All right. They're just like, see ya, wouldn't want to be you. Hell, they don't even salute. They're just like, they're just running out of the house. And, in this modern day and age, everyone's got like, Ring doorbells, door cams and that kind of thing. And so a lot of the parents, in a kind of a sad turn of events, they, have video footage of their loved one, their kid, like just making a bolt for it there. And so that's the premise of the movie there. Again, like I said before, I'm purposely keeping it very vague. All right. And this is the genius of the overall marketing of this movie, because it sets your expectations. And then when you see the movie, it becomes something so much more than what you've been told. And I love this. I love how they did that in this movie. I hate those movies where they basically have no faith, have no confidence in that their movie is going to actually bring audiences in. So they pretty much have to give away the plot of the movie and all the best parts of the movie in the trailer. Weapons has plenty, has baskets and bushels and metric tons of entertainment in this movie that they don't need to barely tell you anything in the trailer. They save all the good stuff for the movie, and that means good stuff for you, okay? But only if you go see the movie, all right? They can't go see the movie for you, all right? You got to go check it out. And so I love that movie. Now, again, like I said, I love how they did this. I love how they kept the trailer vague, which is what all trailers should do. However, I have a feeling some might not like that, okay? Some people like to think that their expectation of the movie is, just going into the movie is gospel. And then when it's wrong, when their expectation is wrong, they take it personally. All right, they take it personally and they don't like the movie. I see a lot of pissed off critics on line they're doing the review of the movie, not of this particular movie, but like for Weapons, I'd say I don't 1 out of 10 people don't like this movie, and 1 out of 10 is likely somebody who went into the movie with their haughty expectations, and they're like, I know how this movie is going to go down, all right, because I am of a superior intellect, and then they go to see the movie and it's nothing like what they expected there, and their delusion balloon that they're smarter than they actually are gets popped, all right, and that makes them, they take that personally, and then they just don't like the movie after that. So, and Zach Cregger, again, the director, he ran into this some with Barbarian. Now, me personally, all right, I don't egotistically assume I know what a movie is going to be just off the trailers before I see it. I just want the movie to show me what it's going to be, all right? I know, just call me simple, call me old-fashioned, call me a hick from the sticks, all right? I'm just going to go in and just going to let the movie just wash over me and tell me what it wants to, or show me what it wants to show me there, okay? Now, if you just strap in for a ride, well, then Weapons, I ensure you, will ensure that it's going to be an eye-popping, never boring ride, all right? And again, like I said, I'm purposely being vague because, like dating a chick who's a dancer at a strip club, the less you know, the better. So, man, it's words to live by right there. You just don't want to know everything with, dating something like that. Don't want to do that whatsoever. You have been warned. You're welcome. There you go. All right, real quick here, just to implore you here, if you are, liking what you're hearing, if you appreciate me letting you know whether or not you should go see Weapons and giving you a little information. And again, I stressed, in this episode, I'm giving you a little information, but purposely, you'll thank me later when you go see the movie. If you're appreciating that enough to hit the like button down there, well, go ahead and hit that like button if you would there, okay? And then if you are, feeling, especially industrious, maybe you just snorted like 2 rails of Coke or whatever, and you're just like hopping, man, and you're just bubbling and shaking all over the place. You got to do something. Well, hey, feel free to go to all my past episodes of Movies Merica and just start hitting that like button on all of those. Just go hit the like button on all those episodes right there, and that'll keep your coked up self all nice and busy for a long time right there, okay? And then also there's the follow or subscribe button also down there, all right? And go ahead and click on that if you haven't already. And then there's the notification bell button there as well, which just simply will notify you when there is a piping hot, fresh, sizzling new episode coming out of the oven of Movies America, waiting just for your consumption. So delicious, so tantalizing, so juicy. All right, waiting just for your consumption. There you go. But the only way you're going to know, or one of the ways that you're going to know, is by hitting that notification bell. All right. And then also, if you happen not to be watching live right now, if you if you're too busy doing something there, you're making dinner, or you're behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler or something like that, or who knows, whatever you're doing, and you basically you can't watch this live. Well, hey, we can still communicate with each other. All right, we can still be pen pals, and the way that happens is via the comment section down below. Okay, so get in the comment section if you're watching the recording of this, and I should say first off, hey, thanks for watching. All right, even though you're watching the recording, how you doing? Thanks for watching. And get in the comment section and comment whatever you want. Okay, hey, you can comment and let me know. Hey, you think I suck and this show sucks and it's horrible, and the world would be a much better place if I never did an episode. Or hey, you can let me know. Hey, I love your show there, man. It's awesome. It's the reason I keep on going on. I keep on living. All right. Now, if that's your stance, if that's your opinion, if that's where you're at in life, I feel sorry for you. All right, there you go. You need to find a better outlet, a better outlet for happiness than this show right here. Quick, all right, very quickly, all right. Or you can let me know, hey, if there's a movie you want me to review, or hey, maybe you've seen Weapons. Let me know what you think of Weapons, or if you've seen Barbarian, or again, like I said, anything you want to comment about, by all means, love, hate, death threats, whatever you want down there in the comments. Hate, death threats, that's just fuel for me. It just keeps me going even faster. Okay, so but anyway, enough about that here. And again, get in the live chat. If you're just watching or just listening, get in the live chat here and just say hi. There you go. Or let me know. I mean, this is a perfect situation. If you want to if you're feeling especially like ornery today, and you want to get in a live chat, and you just want to disrupt, or what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of like a derail the show or something like that. Hey, get in the chat there and give me a hard time. There you go. It's your sick, depraved opportunity to get in a live chat and derail the whole show right there. When I'm looking at the live chat, and I'm like, hey, so Weapons is what is that? Oh man, what are they saying in the live chat? Oh man, that ain't nice. That's not cool. It's your opportunity to do that. So get in the live chat and check that out. Or you could just say sweet, sweet, nice things in the live chat. That's cool as well right there. All right, let's get into some more Weapons, shall we? Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, and you know what? I haven't liked Julia Garner really in anything that she's done this year, like Wolfman. I think that came out back in January. And then she was the Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four First Steps here just recently. But in Weapons, Julia Garner is quite good. She plays a flawed, vulnerable character, with a kind of a slight tough side there. And she does that very, very well. There's a little smidge of her character, Ruth, from Ozark in her performance. And, of course, her role as Ruth in Ozark is what opened up the doors for her to broaden her career and got the notice of a bunch of casting directors. And so that's why Julia Garner's had a pretty good career since she played Ruth in the Netflix series Ozark, which you should watch. Great show. Terrible ending. They failed at the ending. But anyway, the rest of the show is good. And then we have Josh Brolin. Brings another presence that's been a prominent character, Thanos, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just like Garner. I mean, like I said, Julia Garner was just the Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four First Steps right there. And so Josh Brolin, like I said before, he plays the loudest concerned parent whose son Matthew was one of the kids who just took off at 2:17 a.m. like the other kids. And Josh Brolin as Archer, he's got his suspicious sights aimed at Justine. That's Julia Garner's name, Justine. what is it? Gandy, Justine Gandy. That's her name. So Archer, Josh Brolin, he's very affected by losing his son, even going as far as sleeping in his son's bed every night, which you see annoys his wife pretty intensely there. And then we get another actor from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Benedict Wong, who plays, wait for it, Wong in several MCU movies there, primarily the Doctor Strange movies there. He's like the guy that's always, going back and forth with Doctor Strange there. And, Wong is strong, but will he last long? As Justine's boss, the school's principal. And he's in one of the more shocking scenes in the movie. And then as far as someone else that's in Weapons here, I didn't recognize her, but Amy Madigan, is in Weapons as well. And you may not know the name Amy Madigan. I don't know if she's been in a whole lot of stuff here recently, but most know Amy Madigan as Uncle Buck's girlfriend, Shanice in Uncle Buck. So way back in 1989 or 88 or 89 in Uncle Buck, she played John Candy's girlfriend, Shanice, in Uncle Buck. And then a whole lot of other people are going to know her primarily as Kevin Costner's wife in Field of Dreams, okay? And I will say this here and now. I think she should be nominated for a Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her role as Aunt Gladys in this, all right? In order to not spoil the movie, I'll just put it this way. She is just something else in this movie, okay, all right? And I mean that. Anyway, I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to stop right there. I was about to say something. I'm not going to say any more right there. Again, I'm trying to be very vague right here because, again, I want you to get maximum enjoyment from this movie when you go see it. And you are going to go see it, right? All right. I mean, I know it's R-rated, so obviously you can't bring the kiddos there. And I know people with kids, it's a little harder, maybe not a little harder, maybe, moderately harder to go check out movies here. You got to get the sitter and all that stuff. And by all means, don't be one of those ghetto parents that bring their kids to an R-rated movie. Come on, don't be better than that. All right. I mean, okay. I know I'm like talking about the movie and I'm praising it up, but if you can't get a sitter, don't bring your poor kids to this movie. That just pisses me off whenever I see that. I'm like, oh my God, how ghetto is that? All right. I'm bringing your kid to an R-rated movie over here. So, I mean, an R-rated horror movie, okay? So that kind of thing. So, I mean, like, if someone was like, and I'm talking about a certain age of kid right there. If they were like re-releasing Die Hard in IMAX, and you bring your 12-year-old to Die Hard, all right, that's something else. Die Hard is a completely different type of R-rated movie than a horror movie, right? So, I mean, but you guys are you guys are smart enough to, to make the distinction there, unless you're a ghetto parent, and then you're not smart enough to make that distinction right there. So, but anyway, enough of my social commentary there. So, because it is time for Brew Review time. All right, everybody. So let me introduce you to the lucky brew for today, and that is a little Oliphant Brewing Rusket Red, little Wisconsin red lager, and this comes to us from Somerset, Wisconsin. And this red lager is like a lot of red lagers where it does have like a slight caramel flavor. So caramel or caramel? I don't know. Let me know in the live chat. How do you say it? Do you say it caramel or caramel? I think it's like a regional thing. I don't know. Maybe like out on the East Coast they call it caramel. And then, out here in, the flyover states, we call it caramel. And on the West Coast, they call it caramel as well. Who knows? It's tough to say right there. But to me, I'm gonna go with caramel, all right? Because I like it. It's got more syllables. I dig it. It rolls off the tongue a little bit more. Caramel, okay? But this has like a nice slight little caramel flavor to it. I'm also getting like a molasses / brown sugar, like a very slight, subtle taste of molasses / brown sugar in it again. And it's not overpowering or anything like that, okay? There's no harsh bitterness to this. Now, as far as the nose on it there, the smell for all the laymen out there, the nose kind of has more of a floral smell to it here. Yeah, I got a floor. Okay, now I'm getting. I must not have had clear nostrils before, but now I'm getting the floral notes, and I'm getting like this. Yeah, more of that caramel or caramel. I'm getting the caramel and like the molasses brown sugar scent here with the nose. Ooh, that's good. I just want to keep sniffing it. There you go. All right. better to sniff the nose on a beer than pull a Joe Biden and start sniffing little, 7-year-olds. So one's very creepy. The other one is like, hey, you're just sniffing a beer. There you go. That's pretty good. That's very, very good right there. So, and it's not a heavy beer whatsoever. Let me get that back up there for you so you can see that in nice. Get that 3D coming right at you. There you go. You don't even need glasses. You get 3D right in your face. But yeah, so a little Oliphant Brewing Rusket Red. It's not overpowering. It's not a heavy beer. It's just a red lager there. I'd say, and before I say this next part, because it sounds like I'm like shilling for Rusket Red, I'm not getting any money from Oliphant Brewing or anything like that. Okay, I dig this beer, but it's because I truly dig this beer. Totally objective, totally unbiased opinion right here. But I could see someone having this beer or using this beer. Let me rephrase. It's a good beer to have like in your beer cooler on a pontoon or a bass boat, or you're just sitting on the patio, getting some shade from the hot sun. And you can do a whole lot worse than some Rusket Red there from Oliphant Brewing. And it's got 5% alcohol by volume. Okay, so it's not gonna get you hammered or anything like that. If you would drink very few of them. And now if if you haven't drank beer or alcohol in a long time, then yeah, it might tune you up after 2 or 3 of these bad boys right here. But for regular beer drinkers, no, that will not be the case right there. So, and I do like the little J.R.R. Tolkien Lord of the Rings reference there with the Oliphant Brewing. It's all good in the hood right there. But again, yes, I would recommend getting yourself some Oliphant Brewing Rusket Red. Not going to be the easiest beer for you to find right there. But, as we all know in life, we tend to find somehow we always find a way of getting what we really want, right? It's kind of that old adage like, somehow if there's something we really want to do, by God's grace, by some kind of miracle, we always find somehow the time to do what we really want to do right there. And same with a beer. If you really want this beer, you'll get your hands on it somehow right there. So feel like Open Bar, it's an app on your phone, or Uber Eats, they deliver booze, all that good stuff right there. But anyway, that's enough about the old Rusket Red. It's time to wrap up this brew review time. All right, let's do some checking over here and see what we got. Keep our house in order. I was about to say, keep my horse in order right there. It's like last time I checked, don't have any horses in here. So there you go. It's my weak ass horse impression. There. All right, let's do this here real quick. And I just want to check something here real quick. All right. And just tap in here. I'm just writing up my grocery list here. I hope you guys don't mind right there. If I take a little time to do my grocery list, and it's like sure. Your time is valuable and all that stuff right there. So, but hey, you got to do what you got to do right there. So, no, I'm just kidding. I was like just making sure I wasn't ignoring people here watching the show there. But real quick here, while it's top of mind right now for me, we do have Movies Merica merch. Okay, we have Movies Merica t-shirts, shot glasses, pint glasses, jewelry, yoga pants. You've got phone cases. I mean, a bevy of gorgeous merchandise. And the way you get to all that gorgeous merchandise is via the Movies Merica merch link down in the description. It's down there somewhere. If it's down there, oh, there it is. There it is. I see it. So yes, down in the description, click on the Movies Merica merch link, and that'll get you right on in there, and you can just do a little browsing. All right, you can prove that you're a browser and browse for some Movies America merch there, and grab some for yourself, or hey, get some for others. Movies America merch makes for a very good gift right there. Now, I probably wouldn't be getting the wifey Movies America merch for the anniversary. I mean, if you do, hey, it's your couch you'll be sleeping on. But I would say probably don't make it an anniversary present. But hey, you could make it a gift, a present for all other occasions right there. We got Labor Day coming up here. I don't know. Do people give gifts to people for Labor Day? Is that, I don't know. I mean, do people go like hey, I respect your labor. Here's a gift. I don't know. Let me know in the live chat. Do people do that? Is our gifts at Labor Day, is that a thing? I don't know. So, but if it is, then yeah, go to get yourself some Movies America merch, or you know what? You could be the leader. You could be the trendsetter, the tastemaker, okay? You could start the tradition of giving gifts on Labor Day by giving, grandma a Movies America t-shirt, or, cousin Sal, a Movies America pint glass or something like that. You could do it, all right? You could lead the charge right there, okay? Do it. There you go. Step up to the plate. All right, and then now some random thoughts about good old Weapons there. And, Weapons was the surprise number one at the box office this weekend, beating out Freakier Friday. And Freakier Friday didn't have the R rating that handicaps many horror movies like Weapons has. And, from winning the weekend right there. So basically all that to say, that was poorly phrased right there. What I'm saying is, so Freakier Friday didn't have an R rating on it. And an R rating typically handicaps like how much of an audience you're going to get. Okay. Because, I mean, with an R rating, you can't take the kiddos to the movie. If it's PG-13, or I was about to say PG, but nothing's really PG anymore, or it's G or something like that. It's much more accessible, right? Because you can bring the kids to that. But if it's an R-rated movie, especially an R-rated horror movie, it limits your audience, okay? But in spite of all that, Weapons still took the number one spot at the box office this week, and it wasn't even close, man. I mean, like $42.5 million to like Freakier Friday's $29.3 million or something like that. I mean, don't quote me on those exact numbers, but it's pretty close. I'm pretty damn close on that there. And, Weapons, again, like I said, in spite of its R rating, it still won. And that is a great thing, because that tells studios that audiences want original movies, okay? Not just the McDonald's, Wendy's, mass consumption, blah, meh, sequel, prequel, reboot turds that we see way too often, all right? It tells the studios that, audiences are getting smarter, all right? And they're using more of that gray matter, and they're wanting more original stories, in the theaters right there. And the only way to send that message is, don't be so basic. Don't be basic Bob. Like, I'm just gonna wait for it to come out on streaming. That's what basic Bob says. All right, there you go. Don't be basic Bob. Okay, be better. Elevate yourself. Right, there you go. Now there are some movies that are so bad that you should wait for them to come out on streaming, but when you've got somebody like me or the vast majority of movie critics, and I'm sure, maybe some of your friends and family telling you got to go see Weapons, well, then it would really be a basic Bob move if you waited for that to come out on live streaming instead of going to the theaters right there. Because, if you don't go see it at the theaters, studios aren't going to know that you want to see more original content at the theaters. I know it's mind-blowing. It's a very, very complicated, thought process right there. But, that's up to you, all right? I mean, America, we used to be people used to cross the country in Conestoga wagons, braving weather and Indians, as we trekked over to the West. And now you can't even get people to get their fat ass off the couch to go to a movie theater so that you can sit your fat ass on another chair. You can't even do that. It's amazing to me right there. So, but again, I'm not saying go to the theaters, go see a bad movie. No, I'm not encouraging. But go to the theaters, go see a movie that people are raving about. That's what I'm talking about right there. Absolutely. So, and hey, we got Beyond Formal up in here in the live chat, and Professor Savage Dad right there, and Beyond Formal like, hey, pulling a fat Albert on there. And yeah, Professor Savage Dad, PSD, says, I hear it's interesting. I know, but it's hard with kiddos. Yes, that's what I'm saying right there. So that's what I was saying there earlier, that it's hard with kiddos and whatnot. And so, and Professor Savage Dad would never do that. He would never bring kids to an R-rated horror movie or anything like that. So, but unless, like I said, it's Die Hard. That's a totally different R-rated movie right there. So, and Professor Savage had to really go on my own to a movie. And Beyond Formal. So we are about to head out to watch Sketch. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Yeah, is that Sketchy Jesus, or is that the name of a movie right there? I'm pulling a brain dead moment on you there, Beyond Formal there. But yeah, it's PG-13 comedies. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, I'd take if I had kids, I'd take them to a PG-13 comedy right there. But yeah, it's yeah, R-rated movies. It's hard to because you got to get a babysitter for the kids and that kind of thing nowadays and that kind of thing. So there you go. Sketch, the new movie from Angel Studios. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I'll have to check that out right there. Man, that movie just completely escaped my radar. I probably was because I'm laser focused on weapons right now and that kind of thing. So, but I checked that out. And first indie movie with major CG. Yep, and Beyond Formal. Yes, review that right there. So, yep, there we go. I've heard it from my brothers, Beyond Formal, Professor Savage Dad right there. I got to go check out the Sketch right there. And yeah, Angel Studios, they do come out with some good stuff right there. Obviously, they're the ones that made the wise move to grab Sound of Freedom from Disney, and that put Angel Studios on the map. And also they was that movie that came out earlier. The last Angel Studios movie I saw was the one where there's a nuclear blast in L.A., and then they had to head out to the wilderness. And Neil McDonough was in it from Neil McDonough. Again, another actor that you would know from a lot of movies right there. It was Minority Report with Tom Cruise. But that was a good movie. I just can't remember. Oh, it was what was it called? You want to say Refuge or something like that. Anyway, I don't know. Not important because we're here to talk about weapons over here. And hey, we got Shawnee Mac up in here. Let's party. Absolutely. So, and hey, good to see you there, Shawnee Mac. And every single time I hear somebody say, let's party, I always think of that when Schwarzenegger was in the movie Commando, and he held up the Bowie knife. He was like, come on, Bennett, let's party. There you go. So welcome to the party there, Shawnee Mac right there. It's a party now that you're here. So there we go. All right. And then also another random thought I had about weapons is don't go into this expecting wall-to-wall, nonstop gore. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's gore in weapons, but it's not constant. All right, it's not Terrifier. It's not the Terrifier movies. It's not Friday the 13th or something like that. It's just, but there is gore in it. However, when the gore happens in this movie, whoa, baby, does it hit? All right. I mean, there's one scene where I think it weirdly has that same legendary feel in introducing a character in an iconic way. That the Dark Knight scene where the Joker stabs the guy in the eye with a pencil and exclaims "Ta-da!" It's kind of a scene like that right there, because that was the Dark Knight. We had seen the Joker in it first, but then he comes in that scene where the criminals are having their little therapy session there, and then Joker comes in and say, hey, you want to see a magic trick? And he takes that guy's head and stabs his head right into the pencil there. And that was that's when I was like, oh my God, Heath Ledger's Joker. This guy's iconic in this movie. I can't wait. Wow. And we've got almost 2 hours of Dark Knight to go. And wow, what a cool character. And so there's a scene in Weapons that introduces a character in a very iconic way that feels like that Dark Knight Joker scene in that right there. And ironically, and I don't know, ironic, it's not ironic, but also with that scene, it's actually one of the more shockingly violent scenes as well in Weapons. So yeah, so Weapons has got all kinds of good stuff for you to check out at the theater there. So, but all right, just wanted to let you guys know here. Let everybody know, including Beyond Formal and Professor Savage Dad and Shawnee Mac, everybody in the live chat, that yes, I've got my Thursday night show here coming up. And it's going to be, of course, all about weapons, but it's all going to include spoilers in it as well. And it's going to be more of a deep dive about weapons. And I'm hoping that, like some of you that are watching right now, do go out and see weapons between now and then. So, hey, plenty of time to go find a babysitter. There we go. All right. And then get the babysitter, get out there to check out the movie there. Or, hey, maybe you don't have kids. You don't have to worry about that. So, but get out to weapons. And if you do make it out to weapons here, and I really hope you do, and you should hope you do, because it is a thrill ride. Okay. You're going to have a good time. And it's a good way to forget about all the troubles in life there. But if you happen to have seen weapons by the time this Thursday show kicks off, then yeah, definitely check out the show, and better yet, get in a live chat on Thursday and let me know what you thought of the movie. And if you loved it, what was the thing you loved about it the most? Or if you hated it, let me know you hated it too. I don't mind hearing from people that disagree with me. That's all cool. It makes it much more interesting there. So the Thursday show called Movies Merica, spoiler warning. I should probably let you know what time that comes on. And that time is going to be 7 Eastern p.m., 6 p.m. Central, 5 Mountain, and 4 Pacific on Rumble and YouTube. And it'll be easy for you to check out the episode, because we'll have links to the show, the Rumble and the YouTube links to the show on my Movies Merica X profile, Facebook, or you can just go to Rumble or YouTube and just look up Movies Merica Weapons. And on YouTube, you might have to do a little looking there. Weapons. On YouTube, it's hard. Let me rephrase. It's not the easiest to find my episodes on YouTube. I will put it that way right there. Okay. You can put in like Till Death Podcast Network, Movies Merica, and try to find it that way. So, and once you find the Till Death Podcast Network on YouTube, it's a good idea. Subscribe to it, so that way it's easier, going forward to find my episodes there. And then Rumble, it's very easy to find my episodes. And really, Rumble, that's where you should be watching the show anywhere, because Rumble is like, the cool kid at the party, and YouTube is kind of like, the nerdy kid sitting, on the couch by himself, picking his nose with no girls talking to him. And Rumble's like the cool badass, walks in, and all the girls like, "Hi, Rumble, we want to get with you," and YouTube's in the back again, digging for gold. All right, so you should be checking out the show on Rumble anyway. And no, Beyond Formal Professor Savage, I'm not speaking from experience going to parties. Okay. All right, there you go. If I was, I'd be the cool guy. Yeah, in my dreams. All right, anyway. So, Movies Merica, spoiler warning on Thursday night, all about weapons. And that's, I guess, hey, that's your homework. Go sit in a theater and watch an entertaining movie. Ooh, hard stuff. There you go. And then go check, and then watch Movies Merica, spoiler warning on Thursday night. And then I always say, because Movies Merica, spoiler warning, usually goes like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't expect people to watch the whole show. I don't have time to watch, the whole show of everyone else that has a show as well. Like Beyond Formal has shows on Rumble. You should check out Beyond Formal on Rumble. Just search for Beyond Formal on Rumble. But I watch, I watch the shows that Beyond Formal puts out there that, I actually have time to watch. But unfortunately, I don't have time to watch the whole episode. I got to watch the rest later on, the recording of it and that kind of thing. And it's the same way with my shows. All right. I don't expect people to watch the whole show. We're busy. We have busy lives. Okay. We got stuff to do. All right. But hey, if you watch for 5 or 10 minutes, or something like that, and live chat with me, at least give me a thumbs up in the live chat. Tippy top. That's good to go. That's chef's kiss. I love it. Or what I do with people, shows like Beyond Formal Show or Lindy Rig. Lindy Rig is another buddy of mine, or any of the shows on the Till Death Podcast Network or Fury Cast Network. Fury Cast is another network you should look up on Rumble. Any of those shows, even if I can't actively watch them, I just turn them on a laptop in a back room, or a computer in the back room, or some old phone in the back room that I'm not using. And then I put them on mute or something like that. And that helps those shows with the watch minutes, okay? Because Rumble and YouTube, they keep track of how many minutes people watch your show and whatnot, and they're none the wiser if you just turn on the show and you mute it. YouTube or Rumble, they think you're watching the show. All right, there you go. And you can do the exact same thing with my Movies Merica show. Just fire them up, mute them if you can't actively watch them and whatnot. And it's a zero cost way for you to help me out there. And God knows if you had a show and you told me to do that, I would do it for you right there because it's so easy. So easy. There you go. All right. Absolutely. We are done with me mentioning the Movies Merica spoiler warning show there. So, and all that yapping, man, making me thirsty right there. So, because you know what? Hey, Shawnee Mac, he laid down the law. He says, let's party. So there we go. This is me partying. Absolutely love it. I love it, love it, love it. And I know Shawnee Mac is tossing some back right there. Absolutely. So, Shawnee, if you're watching, yeah, let me know what you're drinking. And yeah, let me know, hey, if you're going to maybe see Weapons this weekend, or hey, let me know if you've seen Barbarians. The director of Weapons, his first movie, Barbarian, is a great movie. There, or anybody else in the live chat, let me know. Hey, have you seen Barbarian? That's a fantastic movie. And if you want kind of like a little appetizer to Zach Cregger before you go see Weapons, yeah, check out Barbarian, a great movie right there. But now for the favorite segment of many people that watch the Sunday show, and that is the segment where I say whether the movie I'm reviewing this week is a woke after-school special, okay? And what I mean by that is some people might not know what a woke after-school special, especially like the Gen Z, Gen Y crowd. They don't know what they don't know what an after-school special is. Well, an after-school special, really quickly, is like back in the 70s and 80s, they used to come out with these, like half an hour shows that used to come on, the whopping 3 channels that you get back then. And they used to come on after school, hence the name After School Special. And the 30-minute after school specials were all up like cautionary tales. They're all about like, someone offers you a cigarette, you tell them no, or, if someone wants you to get into the car and they're driving drunk, you tell them to go buzz off, that kind of cautionary, life lesson kind of stuff. And they were extremely corny, extremely cheesy, so they were unforgivably corny and cheesy. And so that's where I get the term and the term that I use when I ask, hey, is this movie a woke after school special? Now, as far as Weapons go, nah, not really woke unless you count like the obligatory gay couple in the movie that creators think they have to just awkwardly plunk into their movies to pretend that there's more than the 3% of people who identify as LGBTFU worldwide. Now, remember this, okay? This is something to think about. Maybe you've already thought of this, and this is old news to you. But remember, most creative careers are magnets for gays and lesbians, like flies to fly tape. So even if you are also a creator in the creative space and you're straight, well, you're surrounded by LGBTFU, and you're given the false impression that the world has many more gays and lesbians than there actually are, right? I mean, say West Hollywood is a famous, LGBTFU area. Well, if you live in West Hollywood, you're walking around like there's gay and lesbians all over the place. And if you grew up in that, you'd be like, oh man, there's gays and lesbians all over the place. Hell, 95% of the world are probably gay and lesbian. Like that probably would be your mindset, right? There. So again, the whole point of that is you would think, because you're in the creative space and it attracts a lot of gays and lesbians, you think that there's a lot more of them than there actually are, okay? As opposed to the reality, which is there's 3% or so of people in the world who identify as LGBTFU right there. And I bring this up because I say that this injects a little woke into the movie because having gays and lesbians in movies is divisive. It is. Some want them in movies and shows big time, all the time. Some people don't want them in at all, or at least not where it doesn't seem to make sense. Okay, they don't want them in there at those instances right there. And all of that, it causes an intentional divide which is what woke is to me. If you get people like, oh, you use the word woke all the time, you don't even know what it means. Well, you know what? I'm about to burst your bubble right now. I know precisely what it means, at least to me. Woke is something that purposely divides people as part of a bigger nefarious plot to divide and eventually destroy America. Very simple, very easy definition of woke right there. Okay, there you go. All right, so yeah, don't give me that. You don't even know what woke is. Okay, so now peddle that crap somewhere else. All right, there. But anyway, so this is the only weak spot in the movie. I mean, Zach Cregger just plunked it in there, and it's unnecessary and it's try hard. Okay, but the rest of the movie is fantastic. The rest of the movie is fantastic. I mean, creators throw this crap in TV and movies so often nowadays. I see it like, oh God! All right, yep, I forgot they have to lay alms at the altars of the Rainbow Jihad. I forgot. So there you go. But anyway, that's the only slipping on a banana peel that Zach Cregger does with this movie right there. So, but it's by no means not a reason for you to go check out the movie right there. So, and hey, Beyond Formal has rated up in here. So he's coming in here right there, coming in hot. So yeah, welcome everybody that's coming in from the Beyond Formal show here. Good to see you as we talk about some weapons up in here. And real quick here, I just want to let everybody know that if you are appreciating what I'm doing, if you are picking up what I'm putting down enough to throw maybe a buck or two, my way, and I know that our gay and lesbian watchers are really in a mood to give me some money right now, I'm sure. You can do that on Rumble and YouTube, okay? And so the way you do that on Rumble is down by where you type in your live chat message down there. I just got to click the button there. If I could talk today, click the button with a $sign on it. And then once you do that, it'll just ask how much you want to donate my way. And that's it. Okay. Now you can always click out of there. Clicking on that $sign button isn't an obligation to give me any money. You can always back out and click out and not give me anything. All right. So don't worry. That $sign button is not a point of no return. Don't worry about that. Okay. And then also on YouTube, you can do that. You can throw a little money my way if you want. Okay. And it works very similarly the way that it works on Rumble. Down by where you type in your live chat message in YouTube, click on a button that looks like a dollar bill, and then again it'll just ask how much you want to throw my way to this chump right here, and that's it. Very simple, very easy, lemon squeezy. There you go, right there. But that's the extent that I'm going to beg for money right there. I don't want to do that any longer than I need to right there, because yeah, I mean I can't always afford to give money to shows that I rightfully want to, help out and show support to rightfully. All right. I don't always have the money to do that. So I totally understand that and all that. That's totally up to you. Only if you feel I deserve it right up in here. All right. So, but anyway, you guys didn't, come in here and raid the show here to hear about me begging for money. You wanted to come in here to talk about the new #1 at the box office horror movie named Weapons right there. And no, I don't, when I say horror movies, no, it's not the biography of Britney Spears or Lindsay Lohan. No, I mean like horror, like HORROR. Yeah, like a scary movie. Okay, there. I'll just use scary movie from now on. But yeah, Weapons is the #1 movie at the box office, in spite of being an R-rated scary movie right there. And so my final thoughts about Weapons is, I know I didn't really say much to whet your appetite for this movie, but believe me, everybody, that is on purpose, okay? And you need to go see this movie at the theater. And the less you know going in, the better time you'll have, all right? And again, I'm saying that this is the movie that you most need to go see in the theaters, even more than F1, all right? Because if you've been watching the show here the last few weeks, ever since I saw F1, I've been singing the praises of F1, and I do still sing the praises of F1. You do need to go see F1 in the theaters as well. But even more than F1, okay, if you can, I would go see Weapons at the theater. This is my new #1 favorite movie of 2025. All right, F1 had the gold before. Now it's weapons. So sorry, F1, you're down on the podium. You're down at the silver. Not bad. Silver's cool. I mean, you could be not on the podium at all. All right, there you go. But silver's nice. All right, yeah, silver's shiny. But it's weapons with the gold medal starting this week here, and we'll see if we'll see if something else will knock it off here later on. You never know. It could be knocked off the perch. There's a little bit of 2025 left here. You never know. But all that to say is, go check out Weapons. And then also make sure you go see it before this Thursday night show, Movies Merica spoiler warning. Again, it comes on at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, and 4 Pacific this Thursday night, because I want to hear from people that have seen Weapons this Thursday, because I'm looking forward to like having a conversation via the live chat with people about Weapons right there, because when you see this movie, you're going to be like me. I got a pretty good feeling you're going to be like me when you're going to leave this movie and you're like, I can't wait to talk to people about this movie, because I'm like, I want to talk it out what I just saw, and so it's a great movie to do that with right there. Okay, so, and just to let you guys know here as I get ready to wrap up this episode, just want to ask you if you would follow me on the platforms that I am on. I am on X under @MoviesMerica. And matter of fact, I'm on all the platforms under @MoviesMerica. Okay. I'm on Gab. I'm on Rumble. I'm on Facebook there. I'm on Instagram. All under @MoviesMerica. Very easy. I'm trying to make life easy. Life is hard enough as it is, people. I know. And so I don't want to be a cause of more difficulty. So I'm trying to make it easy. And so, I'm under @MoviesMerica on all platforms there. So very easy. Just got to click the follow or subscribe button on there if you haven't already on those platforms. And then, hey, there's something in it for you as well. As I get all choked up about it. So if you let me know on my X account, @MoviesMerica on X, if you DM me on my @MoviesMerica account on X, or direct message for all the civilians out there, that's what that means. Just hit the when you're on X and you're at the @MoviesMerica, there's like the little envelope button there up towards the top there. Just click on the envelope button, and then that's how you DM somebody. And then DM me and say, hey Van, I followed you on Facebook, Gab, X, Instagram, and then I will follow you back on those platforms there. But you have to let me know. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know when you've followed me on those platforms, but if you let me know, then I will follow you on those platforms, because you were nice enough to scratch my back, and so I'm going to scratch your back too in the most platonic way possible. There. So, but I will. Your back will be scratched one way or another there if you follow me at all those platforms there. All right. So, okay. And let's check out everything right here. I want to make sure I got everything in order there. And I think we definitely do up in here in Movies Merica Live. But hey, I just want to thank everybody for watching the show here. Okay, I know people got things to do here, but I mean, including everyone that's watching the recording of this. You didn't watch it live, but that's cool. I still want to hear from you down in the comments section down below. Again, Movies Merica merch is down there as well in the description. And tell everybody about this show. Very easy. Just click. Just send the link to Movies Merica to anybody that you slightly or even remotely suspects likes movies right there, because I've got a lot of episodes that go over older movies as well. So this show, all my episodes on Movies Merica works for movies that you find on streaming now as well, or hard copies as well. Because this show goes back like 3-4 years, and so you might tell. I'm just like, for example, you're on Hulu or you're on Netflix, and you're like, Gran Turismo just popped up in my queue right there. I don't know if Gran Turismo was pretty good. Hey, let's go to Movies Merica and let's go see if old Van did a review on Gran Turismo. So you just get on your keyboard and just do a little searching right there. Rumble's the best place for that. Go to Rumble, look up Movies Merica, Gran Turismo, and spoiler warning: there is a Gran Turismo review from me about Gran Turismo, but a number of other movies. And then watch my review, okay? And you'll definitely see me recommend Gran Turismo. And hey, Gran Turismo is not going to be a waste of my 2+ hours. There you go. So it's good for that. All right, that's enough yapping out of me for this episode. But All right. But again, thanks for everybody that watched, and especially to the guys that got in the live chat here today. But as usual, as I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya. Howdy, my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Would you do me a favor and check me out at solo.to/moviesmerica? That's where you would go for a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with me, Movies Merica. And then also, if you want to check out the audio-only podcast versions of my Movies Merica live episodes, that's my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday, you can go to moviesmerica.com or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, places like that. And then, actually, if you would also check me out on the social media sites like X and Instagram and Facebook and Gab. And I'm on those locations all under @MoviesMerica. So it is very easy to find me out there, all right? So get to it, everybody. All right, thanks for watching. Later.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got a popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right, thanks for watching.